Yeah, g'day guys. I'm just making this bit of a video. I promised a couple of my friends on the Bad Chad chat line I'd show them some things about this engine I'm fixing up for this old Bentley. Here's just a couple of the parts I've got here. I did find an old video of putting a camshaft in it and a couple of bits and pieces, but I'll make more when I actually get the motor here. I'll do a couple of videos of it as I go along. It'll probably take me about 6 months to fix it or so. Everything seems to drag on with this car. Anyway, this is one of they're the water jacket covers, all those. That's obviously, you know what that is. You can see how bad that was inside. That's all been cleaned and had all the rust and shit chipped off it. The entire motor inside was like that. It's just all stuff. I've got a few more bits and pieces here. There's the rockers. I've got the gasket kit there. A few things here. I've got this thing that bolts to the side of the engine, and you put the oil in it, side of the block, and that'll be all polished and look nice when it goes back on the car. Things like that. There's the counterweights for the crankshaft. There's carbies and things. They've all got to look really nice. It's got a really trick water pump, this old car. I'll just turn this off for a second. Yeah, anyway, the water pump's in there. It's all brass. It's 80 something years old and still like new. That's one of the best parts on this car. Got the clutch and the flywheel and everything here. I've painted those because they were going to be rusty. Got the sump down here. One of the things that's cool on this sump, it has a little telltale with a cork float, and it just tells you how much oil's in it. That was all stuck, but I've fixed that up. Kill that spider. And that's about it. When I get the motor back, I'll show you a bit more. After I'll show you this camshaft thing anyway. That's better. Once we get two in there, we'll be right. Hopefully. Like that. Careful on the thing. Make that, turn that a bit.
You want that way?
Hang on a sec. Right. Just want to make sure that's sort of level. There's a pin that holds that in place.
Yeah.
Should be able to turn them a little bit. Having sanded those ports makes it easier to go in.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good. Get a bit of resistance, but whatever. It's easy, anybody can fucking do it. It's easy, you get a mechanic to do it.
Looking good. All looks good.
Yep.
Sort of line these up as best we can.
Yep, make sure they're all that one.
See, there's a little line there, that little line.
Yep.
Sort of helps you with it.
Line them up.
That's what I think anyway.
Is the same got to turn? No,
Yep.
do it.
That's the big one. Give it a tap. Not too far. Oh, this one's right out of fucking whack. That's good. Kidding me. Looking pretty good so far.
Slowly, slowly.
I'll have to go a bit more yet. Something moves.
Something moves.
Pretty cool. I'll just flip
That
it back
about it?
over and check and see if they're lined up. Spins good. Fucking hell. It's fucking locked. Not even tight. Give me a quick look at this bike I've been fixing. Old Norton 1960. I've made a lot of parts for this bike. It's getting close to being finished. I've still got to exhaust and ignition, and I want to get a better carburetor for it. But everything else is pretty close to done. I've got Yamaha wheels on it. They're off a 60s Grand Prix bike, a TZ350. They're an 8-inch twin drum, leading shoe wheel, leading shoe brake. They're pretty cool. Same with the rear. The rear's a similar thing, only it's a single drum. I had to make all these spaces and everything so that I could put the Yamaha wheels for this Norton. It's got a fat one on that side and a real thin one down in there. I don't think you can see it. Anyway, it's there. Made all these little bits up for the brakes. This shaft, this torque arm for the brakes. Made all the levers and everything. This is actually a brake on the left side on this old bike. Made them on the lathe, that. All this bracketry and everything's all been handmade, polished, sanded, filed, just drilled, whatever. It just takes forever to do that sort of thing. Yeah, and I've got new shocks and things like that. Made all the gear lever, made this part here. I had to pull the shaft out of the gearbox, drill a hole and press it in to make the splines on the shaft. Just using all these captive dome nuts wherever I can. Make it a little bit better. Overall it's coming along pretty good. I've got a new taco from it. They're not really period correct, the triple clamps, but I just like them. Got them from England. Forks have all been re-hard chromed and all rebuilt. All the axles are new. Just everything's new on it. Overall it's going to be a pretty nice bike. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, this is like the 5th time I've had to film this bit. This is the tank. I made the tank
out of aluminium. It's mainly all folds. It's only got a few welds up around the corner and that corner, but the rest of it's, a lot of it's just folds. I made those couple of pieces on the lathe. It just sits up here under the seat. That's just how they go. It looks pretty much like the factory one. Bolts in there and up in there, and it's got a Monza cap like that. It's smaller. It's got like a dry sump sort of setup, a bit of a scavenger system, and it just recirculates back through the engine. It's got to be painted silver and have the stripes on it and everything. Turned out quite good. I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, thanks for looking at it, and I'd just like to add, I'm not really doing this to make a channel or anything like that. I'm only just doing it just to show a few people, that's it. Thank you.